Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's time for the PLE Event Center, where our host talks about the results from a WWE PLE event. And now here's the man to bring you all the results from the PLE event himself, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Episode 2304, ladies and gentlemen, of the show. We just had a humongous two-event day. And first and foremost, I'm very happy the Red Sox won 10-7 against the Yankees. We got one more game tomorrow. I believe that's going to be on ESPN. Because they usually, when they count, because the Red Sox Yankees, you got to air it nationally. So I'm glad I got to watch the Red Sox on TV. Thank you, Fox, for that. And now, excuse me. Thank you, Fox, for that. And now, I'm really excited because, like I said, it's been a crazy, crazy day today. Two big main events, the craziness ups and first and foremost, before I go further with this video, anybody does not want to be spoiled, please you can stop watching the video after I say, let's talk about Worlds Collide, and also for Money in the Bank as well. All right, so I'm done keeping the two events separate because it's a huge event center. A lot of things went down in both events, but we're going to start with Worlds Collide first, then on the next episode, Money in the Bank. My advice, if you don't want to know what's happened, please do not watch these next two videos. So, I want to let you know. I'll remind you all. I'll give you that friendly reminder on the next video. And some of you folks that don't want to be spoiled, I know who you are. Please don't watch the videos and you'll be fine. Don't yell at me. If if you end up yelling at me for spoiling stuff, dude, I warned you. All right? I warned you. All right. Now, for Worlds Collide 2025, Corey Graves and Conan, who was making officially his WWE debut on this special event, will be calling the action, which is, I think, very unique. See Corey Graves and Conan. Maybe they want Conan to try him out. Who knows? Meanwhile, D-Generation X, a.k.a. HBK and Triple H, along with the executives from, along with the dignitaries from AAA, Maricela Pena, Devere Barrera sang the national anthem. Laredo Kid and Pagano were holding, along with holding flags of the creators and original owners of AAA Mexico, and Dr. Blue Demon Jr. holding the urn of one of the owners, and they were in the ring. Devia Barrera sang the Mexican national anthem, while Lillian Garcia sang the American national anthem. Rey Mysterio came out to kick off Worlds Collide, addressing the crowd about the history of Lucha Libre. It was a beautiful thing to see, and then it kicked off with a trios matchup or six-man tag. Trios matchup, as they say in Mexico. It's the LWO represented by Dragon Lee and Cruz del Toro, teaming up with Lince Dorado, making his return, as they went to face Aerostar, Octagon Jr., and Mr. Iguana, which I kind of like. Mr. Iguana is like the Lucha Libre version of Santino Marella. Santino Morella's got the puppet Cobra, and a little bit of Mick Foley mixed in, because he's got his own puppet Iguana called La Yesca. And meanwhile, Liv Morgan, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, and the current Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio is in attendance. I said, and I smelt something when I saw those two. I said, something's up. Something is up. Heck of a matchup between these two teams, and AAA got the ball rolling, and as they picked up the victory over the LWO and Lince Dorado, and respect between both teams. And then as Mr. Iguana, Octagon Jr., and Aerostar were celebrating, of course, Dominic Mysterio wants the spotlight on himself. He says, he interrupts the whole thing. And it seems like Octagon Jr. is taking exception to what Dominic Mysterio said about Rey Mysterio, his own dad. And then all of a sudden Dominic Mysterio shoves Octagon Jr. both. Then they started going at it in the ring. Security trying to separate the two. Liv Morgan's trying to get, Aerostar and Mr. Iguana trying to separate the two. And Mr. Iguana tried to scare Liv Morgan with La Yesca. And and La Yesca got involved in that wrestling action in that trios matchup. And then Dominic Mysterio grabbed the mic and says, "You know what? I'll see you at Money in the Bank, and you know what? I'll get Adam Pearce to make it official, and I'll put this on the line, the Intercontinental title." I was kind of shocked when Dominic Mysterio did that. I'm like, good on Dominic to issue a challenge, but you're just opening up a huge opportunity for Octagon Jr. to walk out with that championship, and if Octagon Jr. did that, it'll be the first time the Intercontinental Championship will be won by someone outside the WWE. I don't remember the last time it's ever happened, but I'm telling you one thing right now. Unless you count the invasions. Because I think Lance Storm was the first person outside the WWE that won the Intercontinental title, I do believe, during that invasion storyline. So I think that's probably... I made a mistake on that, but actually, it'll be the first time in a long time that's happened. But anyways, so that match is official for Money in the Bank. So a little bit more on that one. And then, and also, in attendance, Latin Lover and Mascarillas Sagrada, and the Mexican OT, from who's popular in Mexico, and Chuy Martinez from Evolve, huge opportunity for him to interview Legado del Fantasma, and then Legado del Fantasma says, it's about two words, Legado Familia. So they say they want to teach the lesson of of the trio they're going to face, and that would be the team of Psycho Clown Pagano and El Hijo de Wagner, Dr. Wagner Jr., but interpretation for thank you Santos for that is Dr. Wagner III. So that's basically what it was. In attendance, both women's champions from Raw and SmackDown in attendance from the SmackDown side, the lovely Tiffany Stratton, and from Monday Night Raw, the women's world champion, the extra lovely Io Sky. And I'm sure Io Sky has she did perform in Mexico before. And the V Girls, I like to call them, Lola Vice and Stephanie Vaquer, took on Dalis and Chick Tormenta. And in the tents, also Negro Casas, who is the husband of Dalis, and cheering on his wife. But in the end, the V Girls, Vaquer and Vice, won the matchup. And I thought that was really cool. Vero Rodriguez interviewed Vice and Vaquer after the matchup, and Vaquer, Lola Vice gave Vaquer a shout out and some love, and Vaquer says that she's ready for Money in the Bank. And Vero Rodriguez is the wife of current Raw superstar Finn Balor. So I'm sure Finn Balor was really happy to see his wife on WWE TV for the very first time, so I thought it was really cool. And then Chuy Martinez interviewed Chad Gable, and at 11 o'clock, and Chad Gable and talked about an opportunity to defeat El Hijo del Vikingo to become the AAA Megas champion. As you know, Vikingo defeated Alberto El Patron, even though he's not been shown and talked about in WWE television. Vikingo defeated him to win that. Then in attendance also, in attendance, Chavo Guerrero, the Street Profits, the Tag Team Champs, and Food's Gone Wild, another YouTube sensation in Mexico. And as Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, and Los Garzas, and that would be Angel and Berto, to go up against Psycho Clown, Pagano, and Dr. Wagner III. and Legado del Fantasma ended up winning that matchup. And Barrel Rodriguez interviewed El Hijo del Vikingo as he sets to defend the AAA Megas Championship against Chad Gable. He says he'll do anything he can to keep the title away from Chad Gable. In attendance, Damian Priest and Savio Vega and Blue Demon Jr. was in attendance. And with the North American title on the line, Ethan Page defending against Javon Evans, that boy Bouncy, Ray Phoenix, and Laredo Kid. Page ends up winning the title, and this coming Tuesday on NXT, will defend that title against Evolve's own Super Sean Legacy. Then, in a Chad Gable addresses El Hijo del Vikingo, and Vikingo does respond. And in attendance, Fluffy himself, Gabriel Iglesias, in the audience. And as the title match went down, Vikingo versus Chad Gable, both men did go at it, but in the end, Vikingo did retain the title, and the wrestlers from AAA celebrate with Vikingo in the middle of the ring. That is it for episode 2304 of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Up next is Money in the Bank results. So, until that next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and door for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.